gonna, if my councilman, we're not voting to raise taxes, we'll have to find another way of coming up with money. My development plan is simple. We need to develop a street, so and so forth. One way of doing it is you have to give tax incentives to companies to come in. We don't give them incentives, it's just not gonna happen. But you know, all these years, throughout all the administrations, they never gave them tax reason for them to move in. That's it.
The only thing that I can commit to you is what I've been doing. Be transparent, be an independent voice, be loyal, dependable. If you reach out to me, and if you haven't, you've been lucky, thank you for that. But if you reached out to me, you know that I come through. I'm a woman of my word. I will continue to work with whoever on the council because I do have an open mind. And again, I want to close by telling you, you voted me in the last time. I did what I had to do for you. I'm standing up here, I'm a little nervous. Standing up here hoping that you'll make the right decision and vote level 5A.
I want to thank the council members who serve for this city. Council President Gary Shader, Councilman Hyam Monk, Councilman Terrence Love, Councilwoman Malone. I know Councilman Daniel Schwartz is not here, Councilman Garcia, and Councilman Luciani. I know that you guys worked hard for us and the city these 4 years, and I do not take lightly what I'm trying to do. I want to seek to work in city government. I understand that is not something to be taken lightly. I may not have a lot of years. The years that I do have not been spent in vain. I received my education, both in the school system and in the streets of Passaic. And I make a commitment to every one of you. If I get elected, I will represent the city as a whole, because I am a product of this city. I was raised not only by my mother and father in the house, but by the elders of the community. So my mother was old school. She gave everyone permission to beat us. So our parents were all over the city. I understand that if I am to be elected, I carry the title of councilman, but I will remember I am also your son, your brother. I will remember that every time you see me, and every time you come before the council. I will conduct myself with honor and respect, because at the end of the day, I do not want to let down my wife, my children, my parents, and most of all, God in heaven. I want to make sure that at the end of the day, I can put my head down on that pillow and rest in peace. And my son can still be proud that I am his father. And you can still be proud that you knew me. And you can be most of all proud that you voted for me. But I don't want you to regret that. No, I don't want you to regret that. I thank you for the opportunity. Listen, I have a lot of ideas. This is not the time right now to share. Anytime you want to speak to me, I will be open. But I want you to know right now who I am. I'm Hector Laura, born and raised in the city of Passaic. You'll see it on the ballot. Born, raised, and committed. That didn't come up really quickly. It took a couple of days to think about. Before I put that under my name, I better be sure that I'm going to live up to that, because I know there are people here in this room that are going to hold me to that. They will hold me to that. So thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to let me present myself before you. I thank you for the opportunity to serve the city of Passaic.
In my conclusion, I would like to say this: whether I'm elected or not, there are issues in Passaic that has to change. If I'm not elected, but those that are become elected are not going to fight for an individual's agenda, but for the masses of the community, I'm all right with that, because it's bigger than me. It's about us. And I give you my word. The only thing that I can give you, because I ain't even promise you nothing, but I can give you my word that I will never sell you out. I will not lean or sway for nothing or to anyone but the community. Because like the brother said before me, it's all about God first, then self, then others. But the dissension and the lines of racism in the city must stop. Because although I'm considered quote unquote a black man, I'm your brother. And if you looked at our cards, we addressed every ethnicity and it said my family. When that in RGR, they should have said our family. But that was my mistake. But politicians are the ones who set the conditions in which we have to live. And the conditions in which we are living now is terrible because we let politicians do what they have to do. So let's stop electing politicians into the system and put people who represent you in these positions. Now I have to say this before I leave. There's a saying that says, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world. Well, with that being said, that means although we become elected, or we become elected politicians, or we become elected officials, we are not your leader. Everyone in this room has a belief within inside themselves to be their own leader. So if you believe that you're a leader, please raise your hand. If you believe you're a leader, please raise your hand. And I will never tell you to say nothing wrong. Say, I am a leader.
I am a leader.
Say, I am a leader.
I am a leader.
I must be tough enough to fight.
I must be tough enough to fight.
Tender enough to cry.
Tender enough to cry.
Human enough to make mistakes.
Human enough to make mistakes.
Be adamant enough to admit them.
Be adamant enough to admit them.
Be strong enough to absorb all the pain.
Be strong enough to absorb all the pain.
Then be resilient enough.
Then be resilient enough.
Then be resilient enough.
Then be resilient enough.
To bounce back.
To bounce back.
And keep on moving.
And keep on moving.
God bless you all.
Bring opportunity for everybody. But how are we going to get that respect? When you count. If you don't count, we're not going to get respect in this community. I believe all the time we go to the city hall and we want to get something, I'm going to be over there for everybody. You know, for just because they are, you know, Latino or they are black, I'm going to be for everybody. We need to change it the way they are driving the city hall. So how are we going to do? If we count that day and go for Minaya 7-8. Thank you very much.
Me and my partner, Mr. Mohan, and myself have a plan on how to stabilize the tax. West Midford of New Jersey, they are able to stabilize the tax since last 2 years. So why we cannot? Me and my partner, Mr. Mohan, have a plan how to stabilize the tax. So if you have any question, personally or publicly, call me, we have an answer. Thank you very much. My divan number is 10. And my partner, Mr. Cohen, has number 9. So 9 and 10. Vote for 9 and 10. Yeah.
Go ahead and say, just the fact that I'm running. I went ahead and I've attempted to go and speak to people from all 30 districts. Now there are many communities, many districts, many wards, all the demographics that we are all well aware of. I know that without realizing, even in my own community, just the fact that I'm running, hey, that could offend someone. When I walk into other communities, and I am not aware of certain critical things that if I had been aware of, I would have not done. I may have offended people. However, all of this was done in the interest of being able to reach out to the community at large for a seat on the city council at large. So I stand corrected for all the things that I may have done. And whether it's being naive or not being aware, what I have done, I mean well. When something is pointed out to me, just the way I reach out to everyone to give the benefit of the doubt, I would like to ask from everyone in each of the 30 districts, 4 wards throughout the entire city to go ahead and take that into consideration when they make judgments of me on voting day. This is a critical time. There are serious issues. No one individually can possibly have all the answers. What I am saying is all of us individually feel certain ways about certain things. Many issues are very important. Everyone cannot be pleased all the time. Right now, I grew up in this town since I was 12 years old. I have a 10-month-old daughter. I would like to be able to raise her in the community that I grew up. I look at the country and I look at the city, and fiscally, we all know there's many things lacking. As Freeholder TJ Best mentioned, in Patterson, home rule was taken away. What I would like to say, look at Michigan, what's going on. They're sending business people to go in and take control of the entire town, strip city council, mayors, and everything. Right now, it's the choice. This is the time for all voters in the city to get together, go out and vote, and make the hard decisions ourselves before other people step in and make them for us. So I ask you to consider number 9, that's me, and number 10, Mr. Patel. I represent the youth, he represents the seniors. The seniors are being taxed out of home.
Coming out again. The commitment that I give you here this evening, the commitment to do my best. Unfortunately, it's always hard to make everybody happy, but the commitment is to do my best in this position, which I hope I've done over the last 16 years. And it was mentioned earlier about taxes. Where are we going? There's a lot of work that has been done on the redevelopment side that a lot of you are not aware of. All right, I have sat, and I still sit on the redevelopment board for the last 8 years. And redevelopment, especially in today's times, is very frustrating. So let's talk about 8th Street. Someone mentioned before 8th Street, the big fire. For 3 years, we had a developer who wanted to go in there and buy the old factory and redevelop it. After 3 years, his whole plan fell through. Good news, 663, the tall building on Main Avenue. Hopefully in another few weeks, the city will be selling that building with development. We have the Passaic site, Big Apple West, Schrute Furniture. All these large properties are on the table, are being currently worked on to redevelop. Because we do understand that it's not just about raising taxes, it's about also revenue, to increase the revenue as much as possible. And it's something that we work on constantly for years and years and years to make that happen. So hopefully we'll see you all next Tuesday, and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Let me thank everyone again for being here tonight. There are so many issues that confront the city right now. From a city council perspective, the issues are a little bit different than many people may understand. I'm very honored and pleased that in the past 16 years I've served as council president, chosen by my colleagues to serve as council president for 13 of those years. I think that's a small statement, and perhaps more than a small statement, in terms of leadership. And I've been pleased to lead the council, to work with the council, agreeing with the mayor, fighting the mayor, using the council as a bully pulpit to make the changes that we need to make. Chaim just spoke about some of the redevelopment projects, some of the recreation projects that we right now beginning to develop and beginning to pursue in terms of astroturfing 2 of our fields, in terms of working with the school board to astroturf as well the stadium area. When we talk about redevelopment, though, we need to talk about more than just redeveloping businesses. We need to talk about providing jobs. And one of the most interesting proposals that we have before us right now is for a major warehouser to not only build something, but to be employing between 100 to 120 people. That's what we need to bring to Passaic. We need to bring jobs, we need to bring rateables, we need to enliven and make this community more vibrant. We understand that. We also understand what's going against us. We need to move forward. It is not an easy task. It's so easy to get up here and make commitments and make promises, especially if one's not had the opportunity to serve. I've done a number of these forums over the years, as you can imagine. And one question that is always asked of me is, why will it be different? And I'll tell you, I think it's going to be different this time because of a group of people who I hope will win. I'm very pleased to be running with Chaim. Very pleased to be running with Hector and Zaida Polanco, who because of her father's illness and surgery could be here as well. I think that's a blending of a little bit older and a little bit younger, providing the leadership as Passaic grows, to have that leadership grow with us. There's so much that we need to do as a community. We speak about a community, but we need to speak also about the neighborhoods that comprise it. We need to be realistic about who we are and what we are. We have opportunities in Passaic unlike any other town. We have the most diverse school board, I think, in the state of New Jersey, if not the United States. I'm very pleased and honored to have been part of that, and council as well. I think we have a step and opportunity to move forward. I must tell you, Mayor Blanco is doing an incredible job, and I think that all of us know it. I look forward, with your help, to continue to work with him over the next 4 years. Thank you so very much.